You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AFTERBUZZ TV for Revenge. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest revenge news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, it's AFTERBUZZ TV for Revenge.
What is up, AfterBuzzers? You are with us in the studio, Gabrielle Loren, Kimlai, and Dorinda.
Hi, guys.
This week, the rest of them couldn't join us, like Catherine.
Yes.
But it's okay, next time. This episode was Infamy, episode 12. I cannot believe we are at episode 12, first of all.
I know.
Like, it's craziness. But let's talk about the title and what the meaning behind infamy is and how we relate it.
Infamy, the definition is notoriety gained from a negative incident or reputation. So it just says so much
Now
about this.
Kimlai gets it.
I just got it. The light bulb just went off.
What did you get? Tell us.
The author, the episode.
Yes. Well, I would say that the whole episode is about him. But why do we think he gets this title? Elaborate, Kimlai.
Because he had good intentions at first.
Mm-hmm.
And what's that? Where you gain something from what?
Notoriety from a negative incident.
Yes. I mean, it was bad what happened to David Clarke. And he was trying to get the truth out. And then he gained notoriety by writing non-truth.
Mm-hmm. And so now, where does that leave him now? Nobody knows yet still, though, except for
Can't.
Victoria and Emily.
It leaves him homeless.
Yeah, and Mr.
That
Reason.
is true.
It is true.
Like, literally.
Mm-hmm. Any last thoughts about Infamy for you, Dorinda?
Well, it just goes to prove, like, you know, he did something and he thought he was going to get away with it, and not so much.
Not so much
Not
is
so
right.
much.
It doesn't seem like people do on this show. It doesn't seem like anybody really gets away with anything on this show.
You know what kind of like surprises me about him? First of all, his name was Theo originally, and then he changed it to Mason for this book for his identity, I guess.
Theo or Leo?
It used to be Theo, I think, right?
Oh,
Okay.
Leo.
I thought it was Leo.
It was Leo?
Yeah, it was
okay.
Leo.
So his original name was Leo as a reporter. Leo Treadwell.
Yes.
Yes.
And then he changed his name to Mason Treadwell for this book
Yes.
to assume this identity that he was on the Grayson side, whatever. But what surprises me about him is that he took an agreement with the Graysons over telling the truth and exposing the truth, which could have given a bigger like fame, I feel like. Because anytime you expose a huge story and you get the truth out of something, like if you're an Anderson Cooper or something, or you can get to the bottom of a global or national, you know, story like that, I mean, you will become famous just by that. So I'm surprised he didn't pick that route over like just being paid off or something.
Yeah, I didn't
You know?
understand that, because he even said, like, that one when they were doing flashbacks, he said, I don't care. I have my voicemail picking up creditors. I don't have anything
to lose.
I have nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose.
And then, yet he went this route.
Exactly. That's why I'm confused.
So, or maybe he was that afraid of the Graysons.
Exactly.
That's
they're
what I
pretty
think.
powerful. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure they gave him a ton of money.
Yeah, I don't think they threatened him. I think they just tried to bribe him with money. And I guess money was more appealing to him in that lifestyle. Like, look at how he dresses now.
Oh, yeah.
He's totally Metro Hamptons out.
If you
Like, you know?
A one-room apartment to a house in the Hamptons. And a place in the city. You're doing all right.
And a place
like,
in the
what's-
city. All you need is a place in the city and you're doing all right.
it's not a big
Exactly.
deal to not tell, what the truth is.
Yeah. I mean, it's just insane. And apartments in the city these days are like up there. They're insane.
Yeah. They're really expensive.
Very.
Yeah.
They're like what, twice or triple the amount that everyone here in LA pays.
In the Hamptons?
Or no, not even in the Hamptons.
just
in
in
the
the
Hamptons,
city?
no. In the city. In the Hamptons, it's like millions.
Oh,
In
yeah.
the city. That's a good
In New York City, yeah.
segue.
Oh, that's right.
In
we have some
the
some
city.
news about that too.
All right, so let's get there.
Where are they going to go in the winter? Where
Well-
will Revenge go?
Yes. Well, what did they say, guys? What did we hear in the episode?
Well, it seems like some people might be going back to New York City for the winter, and president of ABC says they want to change the location because Hamptons is just a summer place.
Was that the only news and gossip we had? Because we got to save some for news and gossip.
Yeah, I got other stuff.
Okay, good. So we just gave
We
you a
can
little
do that
spoiler.
Yeah,
one
just
later.
a little tidbit, little
Yes.
morsel.
Phil, where's that spoiler sound effect?
You guys are all over the board.
You're off cue, first of all. You're off cue.
Our
That's what
systems
I'm talking
detect that a
about.
host has wandered off the subject. Please return at once.
No, that's not what I'm
Our
talking
systems
about.
detect that a host has wandered off the subject.
Phil, this is totally relating. We just segued right into something important, and you totally did the wrong effect. Sound effect.
No, I'm just choosing that one.
Okay.
Well, it would have been spoiler alert if Phil was listening to us, but instead he's flirting with Adam in the back room.
Oh, the intern.
The intern Adam. Now you could say we went off topic. But anyways, in this episode, Daniel mentions to
Get
Emily.
real.
Yeah.
Get for real. Oh, first, we should talk about that they didn't win the People's Choice.
No, that's
we
the
can
news
be
and
done.
gossip. Yeah. But Emily, Daniel and Emily were together in her room, which we saw for the first time. It's kind of cute. I like it.
Yeah.
David
very
and
beachy.
Emily were together.
Daniel and Emily
Daniel.
were in Emily's room, and he mentioned moving to the city, possibly New York City,
Yeah.
which is what
Got
we
it,
were
got it.
talking about just before.
Yes.
And like Dorinda mentioned, the producers, right, of ABC are mentioning changing location
Yeah,
for
the
the
president
next
of ABC.
president of ABC.
Yeah. He is, what is his name? Oh, I forgot. I have it right here. Oh, yeah. Paul Lee. They want to change locations just for the fact that the Hamptons is just a summer place. So to keep it going, people go back to the city for the winter.
Right. The winter is the
Right.
city, the summer is the Hamptons. It's so true.
It is so true.
I had one of the questions when we had some people that were emailing had asked, what are they going to do in the winter? And I was like, yeah, that's so funny. Ha ha ha. And then tonight she talks about it. It's like, oh, that was legitimate.
Yeah, that's true. See, now all you fans out there that were wondering the same thing that people were asking Kimlai, now you have
I
your
didn't
answer.
know you couldn't live there. It was like not
Well, you
cool.
can. It's just nobody
It's not
does
cool.
unless you're from the Hamptons and that's your life all year round.
if you're a
And
townie,
it's a beach house thing. Like
Okay.
people own houses there for the summer only,
oh, yeah,
or they rent them during the year, whatever it is, or
Yeah.
rent them for the summer.
exactly. And it's crazy. It is seriously crazy being part of that life. I've done that
Yeah.
before. So that's all you do. You live down there for the summer and then you come back. And then you're
Yeah,
there.
it's true. I remember even like a summer ago, I was down there with my cousins and we passed all these beautiful $1 million homes. But come the colder seasons, it's like a ghost town. Nobody's there.
Yeah. Those big houses are just
Yeah.
summer houses.
But think about it. Would you imagine how cold? Okay, have you been in New York? Do you know how cold it is
I know it's cold.
in the winter? Imagine being on the water in the winter on Long Island, all the way east. I mean, it's insanely freezing. It's freezing.
So they're
So
moving.
cold. They're moving. They're going to be shielded by
They're
buildings.
going to the city.
oh, yeah.
But I think it's going to be such a different dynamic if
I
they
do
do
too.
that.
I mean, I seriously can't imagine.
Yeah.
I was talking to Dorinda about it earlier, and it's like, so are they all moving together to keep it together? Because right now they're all kind of together. So
Yeah.
how does that work?
I feel like it might be back and forth a
I don't
little.
know.
Maybe Victoria might stay to herself. I don't know.
Well, she's.
It'll be interesting. We don't know for sure.
Yeah.
We don't know for
That's
sure.
Yeah.
A whole, yeah.
That's a whole nother story.
So okay.
Your
so
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Have we just gone off track and we're just on predictions
No,
already?
that's not a prediction, really. We're just stating our opinions, which I guess are always predictions if they're not facts, right, Phil?
No, that's not true.
Yes, they are. Unless it's a fact, it's an opinion, and an opinion is a prediction sometimes.
Sometimes, but not all the time.
All right,
Okay,
well,
let's go. Let's where are we
whatever.
at?
The next thing is
Let's start.
Ashley.
Oh,
Ashley. The next thing on our
Oh.
list.
That one.
I am not fond of her anymore. You know what? When she went up to Emily and told her what Mrs. Grayson said, it seemed like she wanted to do it. But then when the camera was coming off her, it looked like she was a little like, oh, I can't believe I just did that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm actually, I don't.
She made like a spiteful face, and then she made like, oh wait, snap back to reality. Should I have done that?
Exactly.
I feel like that's what it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's also hearing where her loyalties are and what she wants more than anything. And she wants to be
Where
part
is she
of that inner
from?
circle.
I don't
That's a
even
good
understand
question.
where this
That
girl
is
is
a good
from.
question.
She's just a wannabe Hamptons socialite, and
Is she
she's
an
getting in
intern?
through Victoria. Pretty much, she's
it
just
Victoria's
she's
intern?
getting paid, but she's like Victoria's like side person. She's the
Okay.
assistant. She's
Okay.
the assistant.
Yeah.
Okay,
Life
that's-
assistant.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Literally.
as the story goes on, we'll get more info on the history, the background.
But just to clarify, Ashley,
Some more hot
the
tea.
situation with Ashley that we are speaking of is when she had filled in Emily with the little tidbit
Mm-hmm.
about the trust fund and the regulations on
and the
Daniel's.
shares.
She just planted
Yes.
that seed.
Grayson
She planted
Industries.
that seed in her head.
Exactly.
So now, God, I think they were already going down the road of being married. And now that seed's planted. And so now she's not going to know if he really means it or if he just wants the money.
I feel like there was no
Good seed. That
there
was a
was
good
no
seed.
timeline on it either. So this is not something that maybe Ashley could have heard overnight, even though we know it just happened.
Yeah.
Emily could think for anything that Ashley overheard this like months ago, and
When they
maybe this
first
is all a
met.
scheme. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Emily is probably going to be very cautious now, although I'm sure she's smart enough to figure it out that he's doing it for a certain reason and she's going to go along with it. Clearly there was an engagement party in the pilot, so
Exactly.
Mm-hmm,
And the part that it would actually kind of go great with her revenge.
yeah.
It would go great. Like, because she'll be part of the shares. She'll be part of that. She's married to him.
Aha.
She'll have a hand in that.
Yeah, but I don't think she wants Victoria to have any hand in anything. So I don't know. I feel like it's unfinished business because she's probably going to want to get back at Victoria. She's not going to want
I
Victoria
think
to get
that's
the
her
money.
main one, obviously.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because Victoria betrayed her father.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The circle and the X. The circle and the X. She's the big one.
Who's her?
She is.
Who's her mom?
Who's
Emily?
mom?
Oh, it's explained that her mom died when she was young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, her mom died. I don't know of what, but she died when she
They
was
don't
young.
really go into that.
I was like, wouldn't that be amazing if it was Mrs. Grayson?
No, but there.
No.
That would be a whole nother thing. I think she'd
Okay,
feel a
let's
lot more
stop.
guilty if she did that to her own daughter.
Oh, yeah, that would
You
be
know?
awful.
God, I'll just put you in a psych unit and not care about you, even though
yeah.
you're my blood.
That would be
Seriously, because she
awful.
set that whole thing up. She agreed to go along with the lie the entire time.
Oh, and that's the whole thing. How can you live with yourself all these years? That's a good question. How can you live with yourself all these years?
Mrs. Grayson?
It is a good question.
Any of them that know this whole thing. How can someone in their right mind and a conscience, there you go, no
Greed and money, no
Uh-huh.
conscience.
There you go.
No conscience.
Makes a lot of sense.
Well,
Yeah, I-
How would you guys, have you ever like lived with a lie or lived with it for a little while before it came out? How did you feel in a situation like that?
Well,
It's hard to think back, but if you can think back on a time or maybe like something small. But you guys have consciences, so it's a little
Yeah.
different. So I'm not gonna go there if you
Okay.
can't remember.
Yeah.
If you
Well,
remember, great.
I'm gonna chime in on this and help you guys out. No, because if you notice, like, okay, did the Nazis think they were doing evil? No, evil is a good characteristic taken to the extreme. You know what I mean? And so,
Okay.
And so you're like, I mean, do you guys think you're evil? No, but there's people who think you guys are actually in fact evil. Again, because it's about perspective. And,
Okay.
you know, at the end of the day, you justify in your own self, okay, you know what? I'm the good guy. These people are the bad guys. I did it for the right reasons. David Clarke had to be the pawn in all of this, et cetera, et cetera. And so you learn to live like that.
But looking outside
just
the
human
box,
nature.
though,
Yeah.
looking outside the box from a pure standpoint, like, what are they thinking? How are they feeling? Yes, they're justifying it for themselves, but how did you ever? Most of these people don't have a conscience. The fact that they could live with this for so long and know what they did to this little girl and her father. Wasn't her
But I
father
think,
murdered?
You know what?
in
Out of
prison?
sight, out of mind as well. This
Or
girl
had a heart
has
attack?
been gone for a long time, and I think they do live with it. I mean, you could tell Victoria. You could tell that. I mean, when she has thoughts about it, I mean, she does feel it. But it's like, are we going to get rid of one person, or are 24 people going to go down?
Yeah, because you know what? Victoria
Let's
didn't
have
have a
this one
choice because the
person.
thing is, even if she wanted to be with David, knowing what she knew, if she was to side with David, she would have been in jail too. Because she's a part of the Graysons.
Yeah, and she knew what was going on.
Exactly. She was a part of it. She knew what was going on, so therefore she'd be in jail instead of David Clarke. So it was either her or him.
Yeah.
Right.
So she was trying to survive and had to
Survival
choose.
of the fittest.
Yeah,
Wow.
And that's
exactly.
what she did.
And then she was, healthy
She was healthy.
in there.
What do you mean? Like she was just living her life afterwards, happily?
I'm like scared. I don't even. She was. What's the other girl's name? The sister.
Charlotte.
Charlotte.
Wait, you guys, we cannot speak of this yet.
I knew it. See, I was
Too early. Okay, the next
Okay,
topic
we have to
is
stay on this thing.
Treadwell.
Yeah.
Okay,
Treadwell.
the author.
We touched
Yes.
on him a little in the beginning of this already.
Yes, and so much of this was about him.
So this whole episode
Infamy.
was about him.
Roger Bart.
I'm going
I
to use
just
that in a
love
sentence tomorrow.
Do it, and then let us know what it was
Okay.
next week. Make it creative. But anyways, Treadwell was this reporter. And I really liked him in the beginning because it
Yes.
showed him as this like roving reporter, wants to get to the bottom of the story, but wants the greater good. But then easily, converted over to the Grayson side when Victoria said, "Well, let's make an agreement," and he pretty much made that agreement clearly. But it rose him to fame with his book. And now he lives the rich lifestyle, and people want to work with him, and he's living the life.
He's living the life.
It does
He's living the life.
provide more opportunities for him.
And
The fact
I don't
that
think
he
so.
took the Graysons, maybe not internally, but outwardly. I mean, it does. It's open. His book is selling like
Right.
crazy. He lives in the Hamptons. He has different resources.
Right,
different
but what's
friends.
your opinion if he was to expose the Graysons and break that story? What do you think would have
we
happened?
wouldn't be
Sold
watching
more.
Revenge.
Exactly.
I think he would have sold more books.
Well, you're right, but
Yeah,
in,
but-
in like the perspective,
Yeah,
I agree with you, Dorinda.
You can go. It's like a double-edged sword on this one because I think either way he would have came out, and I think a lot of that had to do with fear. I honestly do. That's just me, and just
Treadwell living in fear? Treadwell.
because the Graysons were so powerful, and Mr. Clarke is just one person.
But he seemed so confident about like where his standpoint was.
Especially when he was talking to Emily.
Well, but more so when he was originally confronted by the Graysons and he was trying to interview Victoria.
Yeah.
And he was pretty much like threatening them kind of, or bribing them a little, I feel like. When he was first speaking to them, like, because he said, well, I spoke about, to David Clarke about this, and he said this, and then she would just deny or whatever. But I feel like he had the upper hand
Yes.
because he knew what was going on. He could tell that they were
knew the
lying through their
truth.
teeth.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's so clear that they're lying. It's so clear when you bring up facts and they just like kind of blow over it or try and make up an excuse or don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And I feel like he had the upper hand. He knew he could have exposed something huge, but he didn't go with that. And I feel like it's the guarantee for money. And I bet you they offered him millions. Think about it. These people are
course.
billionaires.
Yeah. So
So it was easy, quick money. He didn't have to do anything. And he got help writing the book probably from them.
yeah.
And now he's a
So.
part of that inner circle
Yeah.
forever.
And what do we think?
Forever.
Oh, what were you going to say, Dorinda?
I thought it was quite interesting when they did the reading at the house because
Okay.
before the reading, he had the meeting with Amanda.
Uh-huh.
So I thought that was interesting because the way she went off, I thought he was actually going to say something until
too.
Victoria basically put him in his place.
I
But
did too.
he was going to expose himself and be like, I was a fraud. I believe this in a certain way.
Yeah, I think it finally got to him. Amanda got to him.
Amanda did. And I
The
think he
fact that
was
she
torn.
remembered.
I think he was torn, but he knew that she was threatening him and he was scared of her threats.
Yeah.
Because now it's time for him to be scared of Victoria. Now is the time because
Yeah,
he's
'cause she
lied
could
so
take
this
yeah.
far.
And she could take everything away from him. And here's the thing about having that life for so long. and someone just rip it out from underneath you.
Right.
You're like, ooh.
Exactly. He's used to the lifestyle.
Yeah.
And honestly, his memoirs and those tapes are his only proof now of the real story. And those are long gone now, so he's probably not going to be thinking about going against Victoria.
Yeah.
Although Emily now has the upper hand to expose Treadwell.
She's a great arsonist.
She really is. Smart thinking with the cigarette.
I know.
No trace. It was his cigarette.
Yeah. They'd be like,
You know?
it started by a cigarette.
She's smart. She like picks up on those small, tiny details.
Oh, yeah.
That's what she does. She picks up on the details, and that's how she is so good at what she does.
I love her.
She pays attention to those things.
We all love Emily.
She's the
We
best.
want to be like Emily.
We all do, just not as evil.
Yeah, because she's definitely got that evil side to her.
I don't think it's evil.
There's no good in revenge. There's no two wrongs do not make a right.
No,
That's how I
they
live by.
don't. But like, not all manipulation is bad either.
True, and she thinks she's doing it for the greater good.
She does.
She does. She thinks what she's
dad,
doing is...
she's-
yeah.
Well, I hope so, but you know this infinity symbol means what goes around comes around, so it's gonna get her back.
Always does.
I would like to think that it's for the greater good.
I think it's all gonna come back around. I mean, eventually.
Because, you know, for the greater good would be maybe she should write her own book about it and expose everything and get those tapes in a positive way instead of burning down the house.
She
and
didn't take all of
exposing
them,
it.
did she? She only took a few.
No, she took, I think, everything that had to do with her father, all the
Right.
ones that her father was interviewed with, like everything that he's on, all those tapes. The other ones I don't think she cared about. Any other
it wasn't
interviews.
important to her.
Yeah.
And the memoirs, it's gone.
It's gone, yeah.
Like,
All the
she
memoirs.
took what was most important to him, and that was that. Because that was his
He
sole
took what was-
copy.
Yeah, that's.
And
Yeah.
now he's
That
not
was
going
a
to make
good
money
revenge.
off of that. It was a good revenge.
Yeah.
At first, I felt really bad that he lost his house. And then I thought, that's a really, really small price to pay.
Yeah, I totally
for
agree with
everything
you.
that she lost. So see,
Yes.
revenge. Ugh. You
And I
feel bad,
love-
but then you don't because it's a small price.
And I
You know
love
what,
Nolan.
Kimlai, you're right.
What?
I love Nolan when he goes,
Gosh,
oh,
is
bad,
he
what did he
adorable
say,
or what?
bad little
We should have
girl
him
or
here.
Bad,
So
I think he said bad
adorable.
girl.
bad girl.
I thought he was going to be scared
following
at
him on
first
Twitter.
because we were talking about that when we were watching tonight. That who died? The cop. When the cop died, that he just he did
detective.
not he was not into killing people. And so I thought when he saw the house burning down, he was going to get a little more. Oh my God. But he didn't. He was just like, "That's my girl."
Yeah, because he
a good-
knew she didn't. She didn't harm anybody.
Yeah.
He knew that. So this was like, yes, it was a great way to seek revenge, and like you said, and I totally 100% agree with it, Kimlai, that it's a small price to pay because
Absolutely.
Yeah.
how many other his life could have been taken. Okay, that's precious. You know,
Yeah.
like please, it was.
Well, he's still alive. He still has a car. He just doesn't have a house.
You know what? He
doesn't
could
have a
start his life over.
manuscript.
He could move
He can
to a different
rewrite
state
those
tomorrow.
memoirs. He can
Yep.
rewrite the memoirs.
The
Not
correct-
even that.
the-
Like
the
he
right
could just
way.
leave and start over, and
Yeah.
then his life is okay. You know, like leave the baggage behind, move to another country. I don't know.
yeah, and I
That was a good revenge.
and I also thought when he was doing when he was reading the memoirs and he was going
Yeah.
down to the last word and everything he was saying, did you see Nolan's face and how upset he got? More so than Emily got.
Yeah, because you know what? He has that bond with the father,
Yeah,
and know it.
it's real
And
personal for him.
can you imagine being the daughter or Nolan having that relationship with David Clarke and listening to those lies about someone you care about so much, and knowing that all these people think your father or this guy is like a horrible person? Can you imagine how that feels? Imagine.
Yeah, it's awful. You don't wanna
Kimlai's
hear
father's
that.
sitting right here.
I thought we were going to take a moment and imagine.
No, Kimlai, imagine
on.
somebody said stuff about your father in front of you and it was all lies. How would you feel about that? Not good.
I definitely wouldn't have been able to contain myself like Emily. I
Yes.
probably would have went a little ghetto and done something.
Exactly. Well, I mean, exactly in some cases. But
But I would hope I could be more like her and maybe like hold off.
Yeah,
and
she was
just
quite classy about it. I'll
Yep.
give her. Yeah.
she was, because she has to
think
compose
about
herself.
do something later when it's not, you're not thinking.
Nobody
it's
can know this
coming.
affects her, No one can know this affects her. That's why she has to keep it cool, act like she has no idea
Right.
Yeah.
the
Right.
difference. That's what she has to do.
Good. She's good.
But
Okay.
our last well, actually, do we Yeah, we do want to go into this. Our last and final topic, and I'm so excited for it. I can't even begin to tell you.
This was a trip.
Okay.
We could spend the whole show just
seriously,
talking
the
about this.
The last few seconds of this show. The last
I
few
have no
seconds.
idea. Who thought that it would? I mean, it was already twisted enough. Who would have thought that they could have added something else? This is insane.
And you know what, you guys, right now, we're sorry, Phil.
Who
in the
are these
booth.
writers?
We're
sorry.
gonna let the cat out of
spoiling
the
this
bag.
for him because Phil is not up to date with this episode since he was here producing. But Charlotte is the half sister of Emily.
David Clarke's daughter.
Hello, daughter with Victoria. There you go.
That
just
blown
blew
away.
my mind. I think all of us were like, when we heard that, like, what?
I can't believe they let that go this season. I thought it would have been like a teaser for like another season or, God, I was like, they really told us that in this episode? Oh my goodness.
But don't you think it's so we were talking about this, and that is why Mrs. Grayson, Victoria, and her daughter, it's like they're not close. You would think she was so in love with David that you would think they would have a little bit more of a bond. Wouldn't you think? Her and the girl?
Yeah,
but dad has such a huge bond. I don't think he knows it's not his daughter.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
Because
I feel like he's going to find out that next episode.
Connected. It's his little Charlotte. And more so, it seems connected to Charlotte than it does to his son. Because the son favors the mom so much.
And like I was saying in when we were watching this episode, when Victoria brought up in her, therapy session that was exposed to everybody, that she wished Charlotte was never born. That is completely why, because it's David Clarke's and her daughter.
Yes, it's not because she didn't love her.
Exactly.
It makes sense now.
And guilt.
Guilt.
There you go.
Was that the episode title of that
Horrible.
one?
I don't know.
Maybe not, but that is guilt. But I mean, like in that situation in general, like in her position, I could see her looking at Charlotte and not wanting to look at Charlotte because it reminds her of David Clarke, and it only brings hurtful, sad feelings to her.
Right.
So she doesn't.
That's why there's always that distance. And
Exactly.
Charlotte feels it.
That's why there is that distance, because she's hurt by looking at her
Oh my
child.
gosh, I did not see this one coming.
I know. It's very. This
That
is
took
very
a lot
soap
out of
opera.
me. I have to let
Very
you
soap
know.
opera-y.
Took a lot out of me when I was like, interesting.
Like, that only makes me think, what other dirt is going to be dug up? Is Nolan now related to Emily? I bet you that comes down the line, too.
Something's going to happen with them
Oh,
because
he could be the brother.
Nolan could be the brother.
Oh my gosh.
I could totally
They
see
look
Nolan being a
alike.
brother. Yeah, and he's blonde hair. Come on. Charlotte was a little harder to believe, but I guess she takes after Victoria.
yeah.
But I mean, come on, Nolan. I mean, why was he so... Well, we already
Man.
know why he was close with the father, but still, you never know. It's just a random thing to think of, but...
Yeah. I don't know.
Who knows?
But
But,
that
I
was a
love
big
their
spoiler.
relationship. I love
do
that little
too.
relationship they
I
have.
love them
And I
together as
love
friends.
him.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I love
I'm
him.
going to start following him now, too. She follows him. I'm going to follow him.
Oh, yeah. What
What did he say?
Wait,
What did
hold
he
on.
say? What did he say?
Hold on, let me go back
On Twitter, you guys are followers of Nolan.
Yeah.
Gabrielle Man.
Yes, I'm following him.
All right, so you wrote to him and he wrote back?
No, he wrote something about him and Nolan and Emily's relationship, and they said they're the Batman. Oh, here it is. It was just up. Why did it do that? I hate when that happens. They are the Batman and Robin of the. Oh, they're the Batman and Robin of the preppy people.
Of the preppy people. That's cute.
Right?
I love that.
You know what's funny about that? Emily's a woman.
Yeah.
And he's comparing her to a male
Well.
superhero. But it's true. She's like that powerful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh,
She's
what
that
about the gun
powerful.
range?
I
The
was
gun
just
range.
thinking that in my head.
There you go.
I was
That's
so
another thing we could talk
bummed.
about.
I was bummed that he knows, Daniel, that she has a gun. And so I just wanted for one time for her to just do something where he's just like, oh my God. Because I think right now he thinks she just has a lot of money. She stays home.
You know what? Yeah, he thinks she's a homebody. She's
Like
just
tonight,
a friendly,
I'm like, what's the
social girl.
what is, this is like his mother.
Yeah, it's, you know
She's
what?
going to have tea parties and go to book signings and just be a socialite.
The shooting range thing, this is her distraction. Like, she's making everyone become distracted with what she's portraying herself to be and what she really is.
She
Yeah.
could've-
She's doing.
One could have just went to the head. One bullet could have went to the head.
One
Just
bullet,
one.
but she wants to look like she has no
Instead, it
knowledge
was
or
like-
experience of anything.
Exactly.
So she's trying to look so innocent. It's insane.
Yeah.
And she doesn't want to scare him off.
No.
It's like going to the gun
Yeah,
range.
right?
Bam, 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 bam.
Right in the heart. Like, did you see that when he left, it was like 3 shots right to the chest, like all in the same spot, one big hole.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
That was amazing.
Like, would any guy be scared of their girlfriend if they were shooting better than them? Like, probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's not very womanly of her. And it's like another side of her he's never seen. So I'm glad he didn't see it, actually, because that would have been very weird
Arsonist.
and awkward.
Great target shoot. Wow.
Wow is right. And with that wow, I'm going to take us
Okay.
to a commercial.
AfterBuzz TV.
Hi, I was once like you, a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
Oh.
Well, after buzzers. Oh, that was abrupt. Well, after buzzers, we are back in the studio, episode 12 for Revenge, the after show. So, you know, in the previous episodes we've recapped, we brought up the pilot episode. And there's an ongoing fight, argument, prediction, whatever you want to call it, regarding who was shot and who shot who. And I think it would be very smart of us right now to rewatch the pilot all together and then discuss.
Well, we're not rewatching the whole pilot.
No. Rewatch the pilot segments that I'm speaking of.
Gosh.
The extra
Yeah,
long
let's all sit
version.
here for another hour
tonight. Something is off.
We promise no commercials though. All right, we're just gonna watch this little segment
Okay.
regarding, you know, who shot who, whatever, and then
We're going to see that it's not.
and then we can talk about it. So yeah, Phil, can you please play this clip fast?
Neat little morality slogans like do unto others and 2 wrongs don't make a right. But 2 wrongs can never make a right.
We assume that's Dan.
2 wrongs can never
It's
equal each other.
not.
All right,
like
there's the
Nolan.
party. Labor Day weekend, Southampton, New York. We have fireworks for those of you listening on iTunes. We have a gun. Then we cut to the party.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, iTunes listeners. I forgot you cannot watch.
We got
what
some
we're
dancing. We got some
watching.
partying. We got a big. We
The
got a
cake?
big
Real
cake.
satisfaction.
Picture of
Engagement?
Emily and Dan
Found one.
montage.
2 places.
Oh,
Them being
pretty.
happy together.
Absolute forgiveness or mortal vindication.
That looks like Daniel right there.
This is not a story about forgiveness.
It's about revenge. Duh.
I'm looking for you. Where's Daniel? He's walking the beach. We're having a thing.
There's Ashley
Same
being
thing
her
or
annoying
different
self.
thing? Same thing. But don't worry, he's right behind me. It's my job to worry. Your job is to enjoy yourself. It's her engagement party.
Why is she so worried? Is my
20 on
question.
Daniel Grayson.
Oh.
Thank you.
Nice night for it.
Nice night for what, Nolan?
Celebrating.
You shouldn't be here.
That makes 2 of us.
We have a dead body. And look at that. Jack Porter. Dragging him away. Dragging him away.
Are you sure that was Jack?
Yeah.
Keep
wait.
watching. Keep watching, ladies and gentlemen. We cut back to the
I do
party.
remember it being Jack, but
Yeah, I mean,
We're having a lot of fun. Oh, there's
Declan
the brother.
and Charlotte are dancing.
Symbolic?
They're
I think
clear.
not. Or yes, I mean.
Well, stop acting like one and you'll stop feeling like one. Trust
That's
me.
true. They cut right to Declan.
Probably get jumped.
Hey, you really want out of that tux?
Uh-oh. Flirting going on. Back to the beach.
We got a body dragging. And there's
Yep, it
Jack
is
Porter.
Jack dragging the body.
Okay, there's
But he
Jack.
looks like he's in shock, so how do we know it's him?
No, I never said it was him.
All right,
I
good.
Yeah,
I said
I
it was
don't think it
Tyler.
was.
Hold on. Oh.
Jack is in shock. I'm gonna let this go for right up until everyone's shocked.
How about right until Charlotte like freaks out and tells her mom or something?
Yeah, we'll go until then.
Now they're skinny dipping, Charlotte and Declan.
yeah.
Jack's hiding in the bush with his hood on.
By the way, what another shock for Jack. Like, first he finds a dead body, then he has to see his brother and sister. Or not his brother and sister, but brother.
Also, weird, why is Jack not at the party?
He wasn't invited? Come on.
Yeah, I don't think he was invited.
Yeah.
Please, he's friends with Emily. He went to dinner with them. At the Graysons.
Okay, she's making a phone call.
Emily's making a phone call. To
What?
Jack.
No. It's
Oh,
to Dan.
Yeah.
That's how
Dan.
they get discovered.
Yo, 8 Mile, private party here.
Why does he even pick up his phone, though, is what I'm saying. Why does Jack even go to the phone?
Well, because he's trying to silence it, but obviously he knows he's been caught and all that.
You got a problem?
I mean, it's just a bad situation.
Meanwhile,
all
Declan
around.
doesn't even realize it's his brother, and he goes, "Hey, you got a problem?"
Not only marks the final
I mean, how are you supposed to know something like that?
It is also the celebration of my son Daniel's engagement to the lovely and,
she's on the
beguiling
phone?
Miss Emily Thorne.
Yeah.
Well, she's trying to call him,
Yeah.
see where he's at. Tell him, like, hey, come on. Chop, chop.
Though we've only known her for a few short months, Emily already feels like the piece of the family puzzle we never even knew was missing. In a word, I approve. And as
I
anyone
approve
can
too,
tell
by
you,
the way.
approval is not something I give away.
For those of you wondering.
I do too.
Where the hell is my son?
See, she knows something's up. And now Charlotte's
By the way, that is that the gun of Emily?
the gun. You know, it might be, yeah.
Oh my god.
How would anyone have gotten it? The only person that actually saw the gun was Tyler, right?
Well, they know Tyler. At this point, they know Tyler had that gun because that's the gun he used on them in the last episode.
You're right. But how did the police now take it away? Daniel! When did he arrested him?
I don't know. Is that Nolan with a haircut?
Yeah, but Nolan looks
That's
like
awesome.
he knows what's going on because he looks like not.
And Daniel's dead.
No, but we
Well, I don't think he's dead.
You
I
don't
think they're not going to kill him.
You don't
off.
see his face.
Yeah, so that's it.
You don't see his face. They still don't show you his face.
They don't show you his face.
I don't know.
But they keep referring and keep trying to make it seem like it's Daniel because the image on the screen at the engagement party is Daniel's face as it comes up. They're all leaving to find him. You know, there's
something.
hints.
Yes,
Doesn't mean it's going to be
something.
him, but
Right.
we all think it is because where is Daniel?
We're supposed to think it is.
And I don't know. What are you guys thinking right now? Like, Dorinda, what are you thinking?
I always thought it was Daniel. Even from the first moment, I always thought it was him from seeing the pilot the first time. And for Jack grabbing his body and dragging it does not look good at all. But you know that it's not Jack who did it. But you're wondering who is it. And what I always do is I look at the party to see who isn't there.
Tyler.
Right.
Yeah.
Tyler's the only one
But there
that's
could
not
also
at the
be
party.
another character introduced that we haven't met yet. Like we just had Treadwell introduced.
Treadwell wasn't there. The
You know.
attorney wasn't there.
Let me pose this question: if it is not in fact Dan, Why would they? I mean, we're 12 episodes in, and the fact that we had to go back and rewatch this, you know what I mean? It's not something like to have that length of time in between wondering, okay, which body is dead or not.
Yeah.
That seems absurd to me. It has to be Daniel.
Yeah, like
and whether or not he's dead, I don't know, but we know at least he's been shot.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to kill him off, especially talking about moving into the city for the next season.
He's got to get that inheritance. I mean, there's so many. Yeah. There's a huge storyline around him and his mom and his dad and Charlotte. And his sister now. Yeah. And oh my God, he's going to marry his sister's sister.
You know what? I have a feeling it's Nolan knows who it was because I think it mentioned online somewhere that or maybe even Gabrielle Mann said it, that Nolan and Tyler's relationship could come back. I think in the interview that I read online from the News and Gossip last week, also in that article, he mentioned something about possibly, but not letting us know, if the relationship between Tyler and Nolan would mend itself.
Yeah.
Therefore, if that happens and maybe Emily did something to piss him off, he started talking to Tyler again, and maybe Tyler,
oh my gosh,
he just knows what's going on, I think. Because did you see Nolan's face when everyone was screaming Daniel and ran out, and he just stood there with a smirk
and looks at her?
Yeah, but I don't think he was. Obviously, he wasn't very happy. I mean, he didn't think he should be there. She shouldn't be there.
Mm-hmm. And that's interesting now. And didn't she just wipe sand off her hand?
Yes.
Who?
She was standing at the ice sculpture and she was wiping sand off of her hand.
Oh shit! She might have
Remember
did
the
it.
girl Ashley came up and said, "Oh, where's Daniel?" And she was like, "We just went."
Well, then if Nolan made that smirk, it was either Tyler or Emily. So who thinks Emily shot him?
Well, she couldn't have shot him.
I don't
she
think
was
that.
there.
Yeah, I don't.
And what about the whole bullet range thing we just watched in this episode? That could be preluding to her shooting him in the back because she has good aim, right?
Oh, she has fantastic aim
in the dark, right? So
and that's symbolic, shooting someone in the back.
Yes, very symbolic, especially of what they did to her family.
It's symbolic. What Phil's saying is because they don't see her face when you shoot them from the back. He was looking out at the ocean. The person shot from the back.
Okay.
And face went in the sand. He never saw who shot him. That's also going to be another thing. He won't live
and
to.
then she came back with sand on her hand.
He'll live to tell the story, but he won't be able to say who shot him, even when he's okay.
Yeah, because he never saw it. He never saw it.
He never saw it, so he will not know who shot him. And nobody
why would
witnessed.
someone shoot
but
him?
Jack could, if he was there at the same time, witnessed it. And Jack's the only one that knows the secret.
Okay,
Exactly.
but why would anyone shoot Daniel?
Whatever reasons may come up in the next few episodes. I have no idea. You never know.
Oh my goodness.
But I'm glad we watched that, and now we have even deeper predictions. So hopefully when that final season finale airs or whatever, when this season's finale airs, we will get our answers answered. Questions answered.
Yes.
Wow, guys. It is late for me. We will get our questions answered.
I know we're all... Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty much almost midnight, and we've been going all day long. But we love you, AfterBuzzer fans. So that's why we're here
Thank
for
you
you.
for being here.
And we love revenge.
Yes.
Of
Oh my
course.
gosh.
I do love this show, man.
But speaking of our love for all of this, let's talk about the latest revenge news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Oh, I have some questions too.
Oh,
yeah, you go ahead.
Yes. News and gossip for the week of the 9th of January.
Official.
Woohoo! I was looking to dig up some stuff, and the Hollywood Reporter had an article with Mike Kelly, who's the executive producer, showrunner of our favorite show here, and he had top 10 things to expect post Tyler, which I thought was great. So one of them was, you may not have seen the last.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Oh, come on.
Yeah, you might not have seen the last of Tyler. So we're on the right track with that.
We all knew that, though.
Get ready for some takedowns in the beginning of the season. Episode 12. So he's talking about getting back to like the circle and the X. We did the whole arc of getting to know everybody, and now we're getting into the circle and the X again, as I like to call it. Family secrets come out as we saw tonight. So that was a big one. keep an eye out on Victoria's divorce attorney. He is the one of the few people that has seen Emily Thorne as Amanda Clarke as an adult. And so he just wants to know how deep Emily's plan is. How deep does this run? Because, I mean, he's in there. He's infiltrating. And she trusts him. And he knows what she looks like. He knows who the real Amanda Clarke is.
Right.
So that one's going to be interesting. And then, in episode 13... there's a dark secret.
Next one.
Yeah. In episode 13, we have we made a decision to give Emily a solid reason to reinvest in messing with these people's lives. I mean, she has a sister and all of this stuff and keeping that secret. That was just going to up the ante even more.
Okay.
Because now she's going to also hurt her half-sister.
Yeah. And you might be rooting for the other Emily soon. That's what they're saying. Wow. I think the audience will be surprised, and they're going to take a little knee-jerk reaction to her and start seeing what more is with this girl and how much, and you're going to start to like her a little bit more.
We're probably going to get some of her history, and then we're going to feel bad.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I don't think that. I think that there's something behind it. In the teaser, you see Amanda say to Emily, I don't know, she says something to her like, what did she say? It was in the teaser for the next episode with all the drama going on.
Yeah.
Like, I think she said, tell me now or explain, or I can't remember what it was, but in this teaser for the next episode, she confronts Emily.
Oh, yeah.
Says something to her in her face. To, like, give her answers. I don't know.
Yeah.
So.
And Nolan's romances may shift. While the audience saw a tinge of flirtation between Nolan and Ashley when they linked arms and walked away at the end of the last episode, Kelly says he doesn't have any plans for them to be romantically linked. But the fun in watching what works on the show, watching where the chemistry is and following the trails, there's going to be some romance going on there for Nolan, which I'm interested to see. And he doesn't say who with.
And it's not with a man, hopefully. No, I'm just kidding. We don't mind, Nolan, if you really like Psycho Tyler. I mean, that's all up to you. But
he's got that little Kenzie thing going on, the Kenzian thing. And, there you go. That number 8 talks about that. And while Nolan was on his Kenzie scale with Tyler, Kelly explains that Nolan is a wild card. And I think that's got to be a match for him. Whatever's attractive to him is what he's going to go after. So basically, we don't know. So 7 and 8 basically linked together.
Yikes.
And then, and of course, the all-important Origins episode, which is coming. And that is episode 18. And it's all about David and Victoria. You know how their stories and flashbacks? There's actually carrying a whole episode basically towards that. That's all it's going to be. So
that'll be good.
Yeah. So it's going to be where they're going to get Victoria's origins, her mother, what made her a wicked person that she is, and what drove her into David's arms, and what drove her to destroy the guy.
So can you reiterate where you found this information? Because these are a ton of spoilers.
Yeah,
like
ton
of spoilers.
Was there a 10? Was that all of them?
Oh, wait. And number 10 is
number 10
is don't expect more than 22 episodes. And I thought there would be like 20,
that's normal.
Yeah,
is that normal?
I thought it was going to be 24 because on network they do 24, but he says it's just too much to do 24.
Season?
Yeah. He said it's just too much and it's too complicated.
Yeah.
So that was number 10. Not such a big thing.
Okay.
But this actually is from The Hollywood Reporter.
Wow, they did very good.
Yes.
Somebody likes The Hollywood Reporter.
Yeah.
I have to say, those are insane. But they're basically like laying it out for us.
Yeah,
they
telling
are.
us, yes. And it's
so
good.
It's making me look forward to seeing some of these episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, great. I finally get to know.
Yeah, I have to say this is one of the more interesting shows I've seen in a very long time. So.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I like about it, too? It's like everyone's not sleeping with everyone. It's not one of those dramas.
You're right.
Where
It's soapy, but they're not like messing with each other. It's still there's there's relationships.
There's not a lot of sex in this drama at all.
It's not as trashy, I guess.
You know, I don't think they'll change.
Yeah,
no,
I hope
then
it stays this way because I like the way they do it because it's all about alliances and
yeah.
Whose side are you on type of thing.
Exactly. I like that much better than you sleep with this one, I sleep with that one.
Yeah, you know, it's more it's more into the psych, I feel like,
Oh, yeah,
than
it's
anything
more
else.
Thriller-esque, I would think.
Yeah, rather than making it materialistic, stupid stuff all the time. Like,
Yeah.
there's more depth to it, you know?
Right.
It's better than a soap opera.
Oh,
Better than a soap opera.
so much better than a soap opera. It's awesome.
It has the same characteristics, but better. But yeah, do we have any other news that we want to talk about?
We talked about that, and then I think that's about it.
Well, Kimlai, the People's Choice Awards, right? What went on?
They didn't win.
That just bothers.
So bummed.
Revenge for what? Best new show or favorite show?
They were nominated for
Yeah.
new drama.
Yeah, new drama.
Totally
did
thought.
win.
But hopefully they get a Golden Globe on Sunday. Madeline Stowe is up for Best Actress.
Right.
So hopefully.
And her castmates are very happy for her. They've been announcing it all over Twitter and all over the blogs and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So who actually did win for Best Drama
Dun, 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 dun.
at the People's Choice?
I don't even
Do any of
know.
us
It
know?
doesn't. It's
We were
not
just on
mentioned
the Revenge.
yeah. It's not mentioned on Gabrielle Mann's
know.
Twitter who won.
I'm following.
That's too bad.
Like really following.
But we'll let you know next week if you haven't figured it out already, because we were all working and weren't able to check that out for you guys. So
Yeah,
we're
getting
watching
this ready.
watching the TV. The TV
Yeah.
Revenge. We couldn't miss it for the People's Choice Awards. Sorry. But yeah, so let's go into our predictions.
Okay.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So, one thing that I wanted to talk about, I wanted to predict something before we even go into the teaser for the next episode.
Okay.
Could you imagine if they turned this story around in Revenge and it winds up being that David Clarke was crazy all along and he was the one that was nuts and making up everything? Could you imagine if they turned it around towards the end?
Oh.
What?
Wouldn't that be interesting if they made David
Right.
Clarke be the
how would
crazy
that-
one in the end?
Instead
Like
of the
all of
patsy.
he's the truthful one and everyone else lied and made up stories, but really David Clarke was the one lying and was the crazy one. What if we found out a whole nother story? More in depth. And
I
then
don't know.
Emily's
I
whole
can't even wrap my brain around what's going on
now. I just thought that would have been a crazy because they.
Oh.
You know what made me think of that? It was the tapes with the reporter where then he was saying on live television, "Oh, but he's just crazy." He called him. I wrote this down. Oh, an advanced pathological. He has advanced pathological narcissism.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So this is what he just conjured up. Right now we're believing this isn't true because he's lying, the reporter.
Right.
But could you imagine if like a season or two down the road it becomes David Clarke who was the crazy one, and
What would that do to her?
yes.
Because her whole path is to prove that
Her
her
dad's innocent.
Yeah. That would put her down.
That's a huge
Oh.
setup. I mean, that whole box full of notes and.
But he doesn't matter if he's crazy. He's crazy. He could have wrote whatever he wanted to write because
And
he's crazy.
narcissists only really believe what because it's always about them.
Yeah. They believe their own reality.
Yeah.
Everything that goes on in their head.
So imagine if what really went down. I mean, it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be to the extent where it was only, David Clarke. It could obviously have been
There'd
the
be other
Graysons
people
too.
involved, yeah.
Other
Mhm.
people involved, but it was just easier to frame David by himself. But it would be interesting if David was the crazy one the entire time, and he really had a big part in
That would be a huge
the
twist.
tragedy.
That-
A huge
Yeah.
twist.
Yeah. That's-
Heartbreaking for
yeah.
Emily.
Yeah. I think that'd be heartbreaking even to the viewers too.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because I think everyone is
Rooting
sold
for-
and
yeah.
rooting for her and so sold on it. But that would be a twist.
Right?
That would be a twist among twists.
It would be. So now, what other?
Well, I have some breaking news. Hawaii 501 for the People's Choice Award. Hawaii 50.
Nice.
What?
Not a good choice, but nice.
Okay.
Thank you for that
Congratulations,
update.
Hawaii 5-0. Thanks, Phil.
No
Thanks.
problem. That's what I do.
Look at you. All right. Well, anyways, predictions for the next episode based on the teaser we saw.
Who was punching who?
Blood.
Wow.
Jack
Blood on
was
someone's
bleeding.
hand. I don't know if that's physical, literally.
Jack was bleeding. Emily had blood on her hands.
Yeah, and where does that come from? Like, We had to watch it 3 times.
I think something
did, 'cause
happened.
it was interesting.
I think there was an accident. Something happened because Nolan was like, "You've got Jack's blood on your hands." I think something happened on accident.
Yikes.
And she, I mean, her face too for the previews for next week. Her face. I mean, she was a little shocked at what had happened. So I think something went bad. You can't have every single revenge act go the way it's supposed to go every single episode, and it has.
Yeah, although we've done 12 episodes and everything's worked out perfectly.
I know.
Everything's gone. You know how it's going to go. You have to have some sort of screw up somewhere.
Right.
And she was shocked. She's got blood on her hands. Jack is bleeding, but we don't even know if it's from her. Actually, you know how they edit. Oh my gosh!
Like, because somebody walks in and somebody beats the bejesus out of them.
And see, it was probably supposed to be somebody else.
Yeah.
And it ended up being Jack, and like, oh my gosh! And Nolan's like, oh, your blood.
Or I have an idea. They go to Atlantic City.
Oh yeah,
with Amanda.
That trip's supposed to happen.
Remember, they go to Atlantic City in this episode, and you don't hear anything from him. Maybe something happened in Atlantic City.
And maybe her having blood on his... No, but does he say you have Jack's blood?
Nolan goes, you have Jack's blood on your hands. But it could be like just
because something happened with Jack and Amanda over there. Something happened there. And
Yikes.
Because he's with her because of Emily. That's the only reason he's with Amanda.
Yeah.
And maybe she goes to protect him.
And something happens. Because she is a bad girl.
Yeah.
She's a little psycho.
That was very unclear, though, of what could have actually happened. But she could have also just been coming to his rescue and then, holding him. Oh, Jack. But blood on my hands.
Did she really have blood? Did she have...
like, not harmless.
Thought. Like,
oh, Jack, blood on my hands.
But did she have real blood on her hands?
Well, yeah, I don't think it was like ketchup.
Or, well, the saying, you've got his blood on your hands.
But didn't I think I saw something in the teaser where didn't you see blood on
I don't know. I
remember.
So, like, caught up, like, just so much happened in 30 seconds.
How many times did we rewound? It's
3.
So late. 3. Rewounded it. Oh my goodness.
3 times to be exact.
We had to keep watching because we weren't sure.
Yeah.
What we saw.
Yeah.
Oh, it's too much.
So someone's getting hurt in the next episode, and it's Jack.
Yeah.
That is that much that we know.
And what else
That's
did
for sure.
we see?
Victoria and Amanda, she's catching on to who is the real Amanda.
Oh, yeah.
Because she says, tell me who you are to Amanda. Sit down and tell me who you are. That's what she says. So we'll just have to wait till the next episode, I guess.
Yeah.
But until then, thanks for joining us, guys. Where can we find everybody? I'm Gabrielle_Loren on Twitter. Where are you guys?
I'm Lula Cherry Films at Twitter and Dorinda Barker at Facebook.
Perfect.
Yep. I am at Kimlai Yingling at Twitter and also Kimlai Yingling on Facebook.
Great. Well, thanks, guys, for joining us tonight. It's a late night, but we hope you tune in. Listen to us in your car when you're driving to work and there's traffic.
Oh, yeah.
And
download.
Keep us at #1
show.
Yes,
download
that's
us.
fantastic.
Yes.
By the way, congratulations, guys.
Yes. AfterBuzz
congrats.
TV's #1 iTunes download. Thanks to our lovely fans and the fans of Revenge.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
And I would say if you know someone who really wants to get revenge on someone, bring them down. Hey, you know what? I have a great podcast. It's called The Revenge Podcast. It'll help chill you out. You know what I mean?
Watch other people get revenge.
Yeah, that's it. But that's why we love the show, so we don't have to get revenge. And that's why you love listening to us. So we take you down from wanting that revenge.
We're good people, so just listen to us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll talk you down.
Well, thank you, and we will see you guys next time. Adios.
Bye.
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janity, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.